Hi, my name is Rob Lamotang. Today we're going to be talking about goal setting, planning, and accomplishing. It was Robert Heinlein who said, in the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it. This reminds me of the picture of the businessman stuck in a rut and he's running on a hamster wheel. If you look at hamster wheels, they're just a wheel on a spindle. And no matter how far and how fast you run, you never get anywhere. People who don't set goals are like the man on the hamster wheel. Tony Robbins said setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. It is the first step in making something real. Until you say, this is what I'm going to do, this is my goal, it is not real. And until you do that, you cannot actually set up a plan for accomplishing it. This is why goal setting is important, personally and for business. Because it's simple. People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. They've gotten off the hamster wheel. They have direction. They have focus. Because the most common reason that most people never reach their goals is that they don't define them and they never seriously consider them as believable or achievable. Until you actually define the goal, you can't set up the plan, you can't develop the action items, and you can't make those things come true. Because I'll be serious with you, if you don't know where you want to be in 5 years, you are already there because you are going to be in the same place 5 years from now that you are today. One of Yogi Berra's quotes that I like is you got to be careful if you don't know where you're going because you might not get there. If you don't know where you're going, you might not get there. When I set out to develop this presentation, I went looking for a guideline or a framework that would give a good outline for being able to talk about goal setting within the framework of what I wanted to do. And there were many out there. But what I found on Indeed.com met with what I wanted to do. So if you're looking for something to expand on this, there is a good goal setting a good goal setting uh, strategy on Indeed.com, and this is loosely based on that. So goals are a person's objective that they want to achieve. They're a critical component of professional development and success because they provide direction and motivation for action. I want to add that they're a critical component to personal development as well, not just professional development. Knowing how to set goals can help you realize your potential and live a more fulfilling life. You will have direction, you will know where you wanted to go. So, the first key step in setting goals is to define the goal. And we talk about SMART goals. And I'll pause for about 10 seconds for you to think for a second of what SMART is an acronym for. What do the S, M, A, R, and T stand for? Okay, so when you are setting your goals, you want your goal to be specific. You do not want a general goal, a statement that's ambiguous. You want to say, I will do this. I will get this. I will have this. You want your goal to be measurable. Did I do this? Did I get this? You want your goal to be attainable. There's no sense saying that you're going to climb Mount Everest if you've never done a mountain climb. Not unless your first parts of your goal are to train to do mountain climbing. You want your goal to be relevant. How is this goal going to affect your life? How is this goal going to affect the lives of the people around you? And very importantly, your goal has to be time bound. There has to be a deadline. You cannot evaluate whether you have been successful or not if you don't have a deadline for achieving the goal. SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Next, make sure you write your goals down. Goals that are written down become real. Create positive statements. Talk about what you are going to do. Talk about what you are going to get. Talk about what you are going to achieve. Make the goals real and make them visible. It's incredible when you write down your goals, all of a sudden it affects the way you think. You have taken the first step to making the goal concrete, and you extend that dream from your brain into the physical realm. Now, a lot of people, what they do and what's recommended is to use vision boards. And I highly recommend vision boards. A vision board is a way for you to see every day where where you're going, where you want to go, what you want to achieve. And a lot of people have these elaborate vision boards that take a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of thought to put together. Your vision board does not have to be complicated. Your vision board can be simple. When I became a real estate investor, this was my vision board. I had three goals as part of the vision board. I will buy five multifamily properties within 5 years. I will retire from the day job within 10 years, and I will have some place warm to spend winters in retirement. All specific, all measurable, all I believed attainable, all were relevant for where I wanted to go and where my wife and I wanted to go. And everything was time bound. And so a very simple vision board. The other thing that I did is I put pictures on my screensavers. So on my laptop, on my desktop, on my tablets, all of on my phone, I had pictures of my goals so that every time I was on my computer, I was seeing my goals. It's all to make the goals visible. Now that they're visible, we have to develop an action plan. We've defined our goal. Now we have to break the goal down into tasks. We have to build a plan, and that plan involves action items. We have to analyze each task, and we set interim deadlines for each and every one of the tasks. And that as we move towards our goal, we adjust the plan. If we said we were going to complete something in a month or 2 months and it took us 3 months, well, that's going to affect the plan. If we did it in a month instead of 2 months, that will affect the plan. If all of a sudden we realize that we missed a task, we got to add that task to the plan. These are all things about adjusting the plan. Your plan is not carved in stone. Your plan is fluid. Your plan is ever changing until you reach the goal. So goal, plan, action, and repeat. Goal, plan, action, repeat. Because a dream written down with a date becomes a goal, and a goal broken down into steps becomes a plan, and the plan backed by action becomes reality. Always remember that a goal without a deadline is just a dream. If you don't set a deadline for it, it's somewhere off in the future. It's not real until you say it's going to happen then. And a goal without a plan is just a wish. You can say whatever you want, but if you don't develop the plan to make it happen, it's never going to happen. Next, you need to consider your strengths and weaknesses, your skills and your deficiencies. What am I good at? What do I need help with? Who can help me? How do I need to change or improve? What do I need to learn? A great tool for self analysis is the SWOT analysis. And you can find this on the internet, it's all over. Um, but essentially, the SWOT analysis looks at you to critically define your strengths and weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So, strengths, what do you do well? What unique resources can you draw on? And what do others see as your strengths? It's not just what you see as your strengths because you not may not actually recognize the strength that you have. How do others see you? Your weaknesses, what could you improve? Where do you have fewer resources than others? What do others see as your weaknesses? These are personal. These are about you, strengths and weaknesses. Now we're going to talk about your environment. What are the opportunities that you have? What is open to you? What trends can you take advantage of you? How can you turn your strengths into an opportunity? How can you impact on your environment with your strengths? And then there are threats. What could harm you? What is your competition? And how do your weaknesses expose you to not being successful? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. SWOT analysis. Next, focus on one goal at a time. Prioritize. Part of your plan will have sub goals. You will be working to accomplish more than one sub goal at a time, but you're all focusing on the primary goal. In my case, it was to retire within 10 years. A sub goal was that I would have some place warm to retire. A sub goal is that I would have multifamily properties to provide me with income in those years. And review and update your goals. Your goals are not static. Your goals will change with time. Your goals will need to be adjusted, and the plan to achieve them will need to be adjusted. That's life. And that's part of the roadmap to becoming successful and achieving your goals. Finally, celebrate milestones, reward yourself. Don't wait until you've reached the end to be happy and proud of yourself. Don't wait until you've reached the goal to be proud. Celebrate the interim steps. When you accomplish a sub goal and a plan, be proud of yourself. Celebrate. Acknowledge that you did good. Reinforce the feeling of success. Some final thoughts. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. You are never too old to set another goal or dream a new dream. I was 48 when I went back to school to learn how to be a real estate investor. I did not start investing in real estate until I was almost ready to retire. But I couldn't retire because I didn't have enough money to retire. I need to find something else. And that's how I ended up in real estate. I set a new goal. Colonel Sanders was 65 years old when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken. Lots of people start late and it doesn't diminish their success. And it's really interesting because when you set your mind on a goal, you become tunnel vision, you focus, and nobody gets in your way. Nobody tries to get in your way, and you don't let anybody or anything get in your way because you're focused. So set your mind on a goal and observe how quickly the world stands aside to let you pass. But even more importantly than that, talk about your goals. Tell people what you're trying to accomplish because goals are like magnets. They attract the things that make them come true. When you tell somebody what you want to do, it might align with one of their goals. You may be able to support each other. You may be able to help each other. You may have complementary strengths that will help both of you achieve your goals. Goals are like magnets. They attract the things that make them come true, but they only attract them if people know what they are. And a goal should scare you a little and excite you a lot. If your goal doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. Set a goal that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. Set a goal that excites you. Set a goal that makes you want to achieve. And don't be like this guy. My goal for 2023 is to accomplish the goals I set in 2022, which I should have set and done in 2021 because I made a promise in 2020, which I planned in 2019. And for 2024, all they did was cross out the year and add a year to it. Stop saying tomorrow. Start acting today. One of the quotes that I like from Elon Musk is that if you give yourself 30 days to clean your house, it will take you 30 days. But if you give yourself 3 hours, it will take 3 hours. The same applies to your goals, ambitions, and potential. If you're looking for a really good book on goal setting, I highly recommend Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Begin with a goal in mind. Start by defining your end goal, then work backwards to create a plan for achieving it. Visualize your desired outcome and make sure your goals align with your values and long term objectives. Prioritize your goals based on the level of importance and urgency. Focus on the tasks that will most impact achieving them. Set deadlines for completing and accomplishing the goals. Setting goals is a key to getting where you want to be. Start today.